Hello and welcome to part 1 of Xbox One versus PlayStation 4. This will be a multi-part comparison between both next-generation consoles in design, operating system, hardware, controllers, applications and marketplace, and last but not least, social networking. To begin, let's start with the design of both consoles, starting with the Xbox One. The redesign for the Xbox One is anything other than beautiful. It's a black, rectangular box that blends in with old VCRs. If it wasn't for that glowing Xbox logo, you'd mistaken it for an old Philips VCR. The contrasting matte finish with the glossy finish looks pretty cool from the side angle, but again, the Xbox One is almost featureless in design, a real departure from the slight curve of the Xbox 360. Going to the PlayStation 4 will be a radical change. Gone are those smooth long curves of the PlayStation 3, and now we have sharp trapezoidal lines and a very low and sleek profile. The PlayStation 4 looks pretty futuristic and, like the Xbox One, mixes its matte and glossy finishes very well. Sony has put a lot of time on making the distinction between last generation to this new generation, and I like it a lot. Now moving on to the operating system. This is your core software that delivers everything that occurs on both consoles, connecting to your friends, going through new content, system settings, and a lot more. For the PlayStation 4, you're greeted by the normal PlayStation welcome and a soft flowing background with gentle Sony music. The Sony menu is now full of color and graphics, much better than the list menu on the Sony PlayStation 3. One thing I don't like is this continuous list of things and games you've opened. There's no order other than chronological, so imagining when you have hundreds of apps and games is really scary. Going through all your settings or social networking options is pretty simple, and the UI is smooth and fast. No hiccups throughout the whole operating system, and all actions are done with ease. Now the Xbox One is a more complicated UI, and I really do mean more complicated. When you turn on your system, you are greeted by Windows 8 running on top of Xbox software. You are connected to all of Microsoft's Windows functions, and the organization is exactly like the ones on your Windows 8 PC. All your pinned applications are to one side, recent applications and games to another, and all of your media and store options on the right. I do like the look of the Xbox One, and it really fits what Microsoft is going after. It's not only a gaming console, it's replacing almost everything in your living room. But I do have one bone to pick with Xbox One. We do notice some lag when it comes to going through your simple menus. Maybe too much is going on at one time and it slips up. Now on to the hardware. The Xbox One runs an 8-core Jaguar AMD chip, and so does the PlayStation 4. The Xbox One has 8GB of DDR3 RAM, and the PlayStation 4 has 8GB of faster GDDR5 RAM. The Xbox One has a 500GB non-removable hard drive, and the PlayStation 4 has a 500GB removable hard drive. You see the trend here. The PlayStation 4 is leading with the faster RAM and upgradable hard drive, and that's because Sony only intended for this PlayStation 4 to be purchased by gamers, while the Xbox One wants to be in everyone's living room. Now honestly, will you see a difference? Maybe a slight difference, but not that big of a deal. Stay tuned for the next round of PlayStation 4 versus Xbox One right here at PhoneDog.